Hey parents, welcome back to this week's at-home video. We had so much fun last week starting off our semester in our new space up in the worship center and at our new time. I'm looking forward to carrying that through this week. We're actually going to start a new series this week, and so we want you guys to kind of be aware of where we're headed. We have a lot that I need to tell you today, so just strap in and listen, and if there's a way that you can get in and serve, man, please hop in and serve with us. So tomorrow night, you may have seen, we're starting a new series called If Walls Could Talk, and we're going to do this thing that we've deemed on social media flannel and flapjacks. And the reason we're doing that is because this series is about family, and so we know that it's super trendy right now for people to put on their flannel and go take a family photo, and so we're encouraging our students and their friends to wear their flannel tomorrow night. But we're also going to have a family meal together, and that meal is going to be pancakes, because there's not anything that is better than breakfast food. And so we need some help making that happen. And so if you've got an electric griddle, or if you can be here tomorrow at about 5 to help us just make those pancakes and serve our students, I mean, please send me a message or send me an email and let me know, because we could really use your help. Many hands make light work, and so we can all team up together and love our students and their friends by doing this together as we kind of kick off this series and play on this idea of family and family meals. So if you can do that, if you've got a griddle or can be here, man, just let me know as soon as you can, because we could really use your help and we'd love to serve alongside you. But as we kick off our service tomorrow night, we're going to have pancakes from 5:30 to 6, and then from 6 to 7 we're going to have service, and we're going to open up the Word and look at how this concept of family that God has designed is traced throughout all of Scripture. And so kind of playing on this idea of what is family, and if the walls in your home could talk, we're going to ask that question a lot. So the three things we're going to kind of cover tomorrow night will be, if the walls in your home could talk, what should they say? And we're going to look in Genesis 1 and see how God designed family and what he designed it for and how he designed it to be. But then we're going to also say, if the walls in your home could talk, what would they say? Because we know that we live in a broken, fallen world, and we are broken and sinful people, so everything at home is not going to be perfect all the time. There's going to be hurt. There's going to be things that aren't God's best, God's design for us. And so we're going to kind of look at what that tension is in Genesis 3, and because there's sin in the world, and we know that deteriorates relationships, that deteriorates our world, and so we're going to be looking at that as well. And then the last thing is, if the walls in your home could talk, what could they say? And we're going to be looking at what Jesus had to say about family in Mark chapter 3, where he kind of institutes this idea of not only family through relationship by blood, but he also says that, man, my brothers and mother and sister are these that are around me, these that are following me, these people that are part of the spiritual family that I am the head of through my life, death, and resurrection that God is constituting through me. And so we're going to be looking at this idea of spiritual family and how family is not just our own flesh and blood, but we also have a spiritual family through the body of believers, and how we, even if we might have a home life that may not be perfect, it may not be great, or maybe some students that come tomorrow night are going to come from really broken home lives. I mean, we're going to be looking at, you have a place where you belong here in God's family, and we're going to share the gospel. And so that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night. You can continue the conversation at home in a couple of ways. I would encourage you to dive in over the next few weeks as we go through this series and talk about family. Have these deep conversations, because it will be a benefit to you and it'll be a benefit to your student. I think it'll strengthen your family and also your family's walk after the Lord. And so that's the first question I want you to ask. Ask your student honestly and share with them what you think. What's one thing that we can do as a family to more faithfully, more obediently follow after God's design for what we are supposed to be as a family? What's one thing that we can do together to pursue Jesus as a family unit? Man, have that conversation, because you never know what your student's going to suggest. You might have some really good ideas that might actually help them grow and help you grow as well. And then the other thing that I want you to ask as we kind of get going through this series tomorrow night, we're talking about this idea of spiritual family. Ask your student, who are the people that you would say have influenced you most in your spiritual family? They may actually be relatives, but they may not be. It might be a D group leader. It might be somebody who has discipled them. It might be somebody who has loved them and walked through a difficult time with them. Who are those people who have influenced your life? And we're going to encourage your students tomorrow night to actually call those people over the next week. Send them a text, write them a letter to say thank you for how you have shown Jesus to me. But have that conversation with them as well, because I think it could be really fruitful. But we're going to get into that tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to it. And then just as a heads up, most of you know my wife is pregnant, and we are getting ready to have our baby girl. She's due on February 6th. We're only about 2 weeks away now, which is crazy. So when that hits, I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks. You will know when that happens, but we will make sure that you are still getting information on what we're going to be talking through so that you can continue these conversations at home. But we covet your prayers during this time. We are so excited about what God God is doing, but we also are thankful for your prayers that everything goes smoothly and that we have healthy mom and healthy baby at the end of this process. So we love y'all. I'm so thankful for you, and I'm thankful for your students, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night.